All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a brand new chapter. We are going to attempt to do this via the internet for the first time. Don't know how it's going to work out, but we'll play it by ear as we go. So good luck to you, good luck to me. We are in chapter 10, the cardiovascular system. This is the actual last of a trilogy of chapters. I said before, the blood system, circulatory system, it was called. The respiratory system, which we just got out of with the lungs, and now this called the cardiovascular system, the heart system, are all actually interconnected. Right? The circulatory system includes the blood that carries oxygen from the lungs to the heart, and the heart is what's causing it to move around the body. And then back to the lungs, back to the heart. So all three of these things are interconnected. So we will see something about blood. We will see some things about the respiratory system still. But just like every chapter that I start, I like to start with vocabulary, terminology. You guys are probably asking yourself now, are we going to have a quiz? I have no idea. All right, this is brand new to me, brand new to you. I don't know how we are going to handle tests and quizzes yet. So let's do this considering maybe we will have a quiz somehow. We'll figure that out. Let's jump into this. We are going to have, I believe, 13 words. Yes, 13 words in this chapter. All about the heart and all the interconnections of the heart. And your first word is pericardium, the membrane that surrounds and protects the heart and holds it in place. And what you are looking at in this picture right here is a real heart. I don't know if that's a human heart, probably not, but it is a real heart. And this membrane around it, remember we had a whole chapter on this. Every organ in your body has some kind of covering made out of the same material as your skin, just thinner. If you remember, we dealt with this in the brain chapter. Your brain had a covering. I'm going to show you a real picture of a brain, by the way, you have been warned. Right? You remember the brain chapter, the brain had a covering of its own called the dura mater. And when we dissected that brain, the sheep's brain, some of you actually had to cut the brain out. They had to cut the dura mater. So that's what you're looking at all right here on the edge. This half has been cut off. So we're looking at the other half before you got to that brain. And then inside, between the dura mater and the actual brain, there was a fluid, right? So this is more like a water balloon acting as protection. It's going to be very similar for your heart. All right, you're going to have this fluid-filled bag. Right, the membrane is for protection, and the fluid is to lessen the friction as your heart is beating. Right. So, if we are to get back to school sometime before, before the summer, then we are going to have a heart dissection, and you may or may not have to do that depending on whether the heart you get has the pericardium covering. Second word is myocardium. Right? This is just a really fancy word for muscle. If you remember the muscle chapter, you saw myo in front of everything, and cardio, has to do with your heart. So the muscle of the heart. And the actual meat, material, and again, yes, this is what a real heart looks like without the pericardium, right? Once they remove this pericardium, this is what the heart really looks like. Right? It's not like Hallmark. It's not the cartoon heart. It's actually this. Right? And it's hollow on the inside. So if you were to cut right across here, all right, and this bottom part just falls off, and you're looking at the top part, that's what you're looking at. All of this muscle material is called myocardium. And yes, your heart is hollow. We have these hollow spaces on the inside. We are going to talk about them. Actually, we're going to talk about them next. Atrium and ventricle. These are the hollow chambers of the heart. Now, in this picture, we can't actually see the atria. Atria is plural because we have two of them. Atrium is singular. Now, if I scroll down to this picture, this is the heart. These are veins going into the heart. These are arteries leaving the heart. So this vein coming in fills up this space called the atrium. It's a chamber of the heart that receives this blood from the veins. There's more veins back here and over here. they are going in from behind and filling up this atrium. So they are collecting blood from the veins. A ventricle is the chamber of the heart that's going to pump blood to the arteries. So this space here, these are the ventricles. So how's your heart going to work? The veins collect all the blood, in this case from the body. So all your different body systems who use the oxygen in your blood give off carbon dioxide. Now we have blood full of carbon dioxide. That blood fills up in here, and when the muscles, remember, myocardium are muscles. So when the muscles relax, they're going to suck the blood in, and when the muscles contract, meaning they squeeze, it's going to push the blood back out. So what's preventing the blood from going back the way it came? This next word, valve, we'll get to that. Just believe me right now that it doesn't go backwards. The blood comes in, waits. When this relaxes, gets sucked in, and then when it gets pumps, it squeezes, pushes back out to the lungs, collects oxygen, comes back in, again, in this side to wait. And then when this muscle relaxes, sucks it in, and when it pumps, it pushes it right back out. All right, this goes actually behind here. So through here and then out to your body. So atrium are for chambers for just waiting, and the ventricles are the actual pumps. And that's what you're looking at here. You are looking at the ventricles in this picture. Notice that in the ventricles has this netting in here. Right? That netting is blocking the doorway to the atria. Right? So the atrium, we can't see the atria. They're up here, and it comes in through the netting, but that netting is going to prevent it from coming back out. Same thing on this side. It can come in, but it can't go back out. This netting is called a valve, a doorway into the heart that only allows blood to move in one direction. Went too far. One direction. So where did I put my video here? Right there. This is the video of those valves working. This is one side. Blood fills up this atrium, and when this relaxes, the blood gets sucked in, which pushes the valve open. Oh, I wasn't there yet. Do it again. Pushes the valve open, but when this muscle contracts, the blood going back this way pushes the valve shut, and it can't go out. So it has no choice but to go out through that other valve. Same thing here. Opens. Oh, I accidentally fast forwarded it. It opens, and when it pumps, it goes out the other valve through the arteries. So valves can only open in one direction, and when the blood flows the wrong way, it forces the valve shut. And that's what keeps your blood going in the correct direction all around your body. This is your heart, and these are the arteries leaving your heart. This video will be part of the notes, so you'll get that later as a way of rewinding, but until then, you can rewind this as many times as you want if you're curious. Arteries and veins. I've been saying these words. At this point, you guys probably know that these are blood vessels, right? Nice and easy to understand that, but which is which? Why do you have two words for blood vessels? Because they had different jobs. Arteries are transporting blood away from the heart. So in this picture here, we have the biggest artery in your body called the aorta, right? When the heart pumps, it pushes the blood away, and in this artery is what's going to spread across your whole body. Veins' job is to bring the blood back to the heart. So this blue one is a vein. Please remember that there's no such thing as blue veins. This is just how textbooks draw it, all right? Anything that's colored in blue in your textbook means that it doesn't have oxygen. Red does have oxygen. In real life, they're both red, which is very confusing. So that's why textbooks do it this way. But arteries are moving it away, and then they're going to come back to your heart without oxygen. So now you're going to need to get more oxygen. So your heart, that's why your heart has two sides, two sets of atria, two sets of ventricles. Now one set is going to pump it back to your lungs. Again, this is an artery going away from the heart. It's a different color because of the lack of oxygen, not because of moving away. Right? This is moving away to the lungs. collects oxygen, comes back into this side to get pumped. Sorry, this is a vein, and it goes back into the heart. And then it gets pumped back out to the body, gets used, comes back in this vein to get pumped back to the lungs, to get oxygen, to go back to the body, over and over and over again, right? This is a constant thing. You are reusing the same blood over and over and over again. All right, 8, capillaries. Teeny tiny little blood vessels where body exchanges gases and nutrients. All right, we've talked about capillaries before. You have them in your lungs, you have them all around your body. This is where the blood vessels keep getting smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller until they're so small, so skinny that they're only 1 cell thick. Teeny tiny, very easy for things to come and go. And they just go right, things just go right through the blood vessel, kind of like a ghost walking through the wall. No problem. This is a clip of a video I made for a different set of notes, but it's relevant here. This is a glass of warm water. This is a tea bag. And as you can see, even though it's in a bag, the chemicals can very easily pass right through. These chemicals, or the tea in this case, can pass right through the bag and into the water. And that's what happens in your capillaries. All right, imagine that the tea bag is a capillary, the tea leaves are the blood, and any chemicals that are floating around in your blood can easily pass right through. And that's what's going to be happening in these capillaries, right? Those chemicals in this case is oxygen and carbon dioxide. So in your lungs, well, in this case, this is not going to be lungs. This is going to be some other part of your body, but it doesn't matter. Capillaries, oxygen, say it's going to a muscle. Oxygen goes into the capillaries, and then it spreads out just like the tea bag. And that oxygen is now going to leave the blood and go to wherever it needs to go, a muscle or an organ or something. Carbon dioxide is going to go back in because muscles are making carbon dioxide. And it's going to go back in here and eventually go back to your lungs. Right. All of this is going to be part of the whole circulatory system. Right? This happens in your lungs. This happens at every part of your body. It's happening everywhere. Now, in order to get things there, we need your heart to beat. We call this the cardiac cycle. Your heart, just like in that video you just saw a little bit ago with the valves, fast forward here, you can see beating. These are muscle contractions. And these are a series of different muscle contractions. Oops. That's what the cardiac cycle is, a series of myocardial or heart muscle contractions and relaxations that make one complete heartbeat. So here's the weird thing. For some reason, we don't say contract and relax. I do, because it's easier. But we have official words for it, and those are systole and diastole. Right. Systole, the phase of the cardiac cycle where the heart chamber wall contracts. So when the heart is contracting, when the heart is squeezing, pumping the blood, moving the blood, that's called a systole. And diastole is when the part of the cardiac cycle where the chamber wall relaxes. It opens back up and it sucks the blood in. And showing that in the video I showed you a while ago. Let's see. Here we go. Let me rewind it a bit. So we said systole is a contraction. Double check that before I make a mistake. Yes, systole contracts. So that's the squeeze. Systole is squeezing the blood out. You see the blood, relax it again. All the blood is inside there in the ventricles. And then it's going to squeeze the blood out into the arteries. And then diastole is when it relaxes and sucks the blood back in. And then another systole squeezes it out. And then a diastole sucks it in. And then systole, diastole, systole, diastole.
Get on with it. Yes, get on with it.
Diastole, systole. There we go. Go back to this. Right. All right, now, pulmonary circuit. System of blood vessels that carries blood to and from the lungs. All right, before I talk about this, circuit. Circuit is a weird word. I'm not talking about electricity, although it's a similar idea. A circuit is a continuous looping path, all right? And that's actually how electricity works. That's a little complicated, and I'm not going to get into that. So I have an easier example. Here we go. It's like a racetrack. It starts here, and it goes in a certain path, and then ends where it started. That's a circuit. All racetracks are circuits, all right? And the same thing with your pulmonary circuit. It's the same pathway over and over and over again. Your entire circulatory system is a big circuit where your blood starts at your heart, it goes around your whole body, ends up back at your heart. Here's the thing, your circulatory system, its circuit, again, is in the word to circulate, to move around, is actually made up of two smaller circuits. The pulmonary circuit, system of blood vessels that carries blood to and from the lungs, contains the pulmonary arteries and pulmonary veins. Basically means this is the circuit going to and from your lungs. Whenever you see the word pulmonary, pulmonary has to do with your lungs. So this is the pulmonary circuit because these are the capillaries in your lungs, and there's your other lung, right? So that means this is a pulmonary artery. This is a pulmonary vein. This is a pulmonary artery. This is a pulmonary vein. So this is the pulmonary circuit to and from the lungs. I said it was made of, the whole circulatory system has two circuits. The other one is the systemic circuit, the system of blood vessels that conducts blood between the heart and the rest of the body, meaning it's going to all of your body systems. That's why it's called the systemic circuit, right? Again, from the heart to your entire body, and then where the arteries transition into veins are more capillaries. You have capillaries all over your body, giving oxygen to all your body parts, all your body systems, and then coming back to the heart in the veins, from above and from below. So that's your systemic circuit. So systemic circuit, again, from the heart around the body, back to the heart. Pulmonary circuit, from the heart to the lungs, back to the heart. And then systemic circuit again, to the body and back to the heart. Over and over and over again, a little double loop of circuits. Right? Go to pulmonary circuit to get oxygen, go to the systemic circuit to use the oxygen, back to the pulmonary to get the oxygen, back to the systemic to use the oxygen, over and over and over again. Right? So all of that is your the last two chapters and this chapter all working together, right? The blood, the lungs, and the heart all working together. Right? So that is it for the vocab. I know that was a nice long session. There will be an assignment on this. I haven't made it yet. Don't know what it's going to be. Probably something on Google Forms or Google Sheets. Probably come up with something, maybe a crossword puzzle. But there will be a graded assignment on this. All right, guys, we are back to grading. So good luck on going through this. Do as many times as you need, and stay tuned for notes in a few days. Enjoy.